Hello, my loves. Welcome to your Aquarius season reading. My fire signs. Welcome to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius sign people. I hope you're here. If this is not just your sun sign, if this is your rising sign, if this is your moon sign, if this is your any other sign, your Mars, your Venus, wherever it is, Mercury, welcome. I hope that you are here to get some um, direction and guidance on how to operate within the Aquarius season ahead, because that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a start, stop, continue reading for today with Mood Tarot, a disgustingly relatable tarot deck, which is why we love it. And I'm going to be doing just the four elements this month for Aquarius season for this horoscope reading. So be sure to go and watch the other videos if you want to see your rising sign, your sun sign, or your moon sign in other videos, okay? Be sure to go and watch those as well. We are going to be doing a start, stop, continue reading, which if you watched the videos from 2 months ago, you will know what this is. For those of you who don't know what a start, stop, continue is, it is a reading that tells us the thoughts, actions, behaviors, beliefs, habits that we need to start doing more of because they are serving us well, stop doing because they're harming us in some way or holding us back. And our continue cards are going to show us what to continue doing. It's essentially our cheering section. It's like, yay, you've already been doing this thing, and it's already helping you as a baseline, as a foundation for all these other changes that you need to make, or all these other wonderful ways of being that you bring into the world and that you bring to life. In the middle is going to be an obstacle card. It's going to be the card that tells us, why haven't I already made all these other changes? And what is holding me back? So get prepared, get some water, take a few deep breaths if you need to, maybe do a few jumping jacks if you need to get a little bit of blood flowing, because we are about to get into it. All right, so let's see what these cards have to say for y'all. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, all of our fire sign babies. Thank you. Wow, really just throwing them out there today. Thank you. Okay. And that's that on that. Wow. All right. Great. Amazing. Awesome. Perfect. Love it. So, I'm going to start with the stop card. I think that's the funnest one to start with. Usually, when I'm doing private readings, I start with the continue card so we can start with that baseline. But I think for y'all, this is like a take what you need and leave the rest kind of reading, because I'm not getting specifically into each of the signs in this one. This is going to help you listen out for some really key themes right away. Okay, so we are starting with the Chad of Devil Cats. That is the Knight of Pentacles or Knight of Coins in traditional tarot. And the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles, is saying, listen, baby, I'm going to go to work all day, but when I get done, we're going to have a long, slow, boring night at home, okay? This card, the Knight of Pentacles, is in your stop position because it seems like y'all have become professional slouches. It sounds so mean to say it out loud, but that's what's coming through. Is y'all have really become experts in letting yourself go. And as fire signs, that's really, trust me when I say this, my rising sign is in Leo, my Jupiter is in Leo, my Venus is in Aries. I've got a lot of fire energy in me, so this feels like a very personal hit. I'm trying not to take it personally, but it feels like yeah, there's been a professional expert slouch sort of energy that's been going on. And because Aquarius season is a season for change, it's the water bearer. It's like, I'm coming to come and fill your well. I'm going to wash things away. I'm going to create change here. I'm going to see like bubbles of energy popping and flowing and moving and sort of like facilitating the the sort of fluid energy that needs to be stoked in this time. And I say stoked because even though Aquarius is a water bearer that's an air sign, I'm talking to fire signs right now. Y'all need this energy stoked. Y'all need some of that the presence of change and transformation and kind of this like pow pow energy in your life. I know you know what I'm saying. Like, I know you know when I say pow pow. Like, there needs to be some kind of busting through of the habit of using all of your energy, expelling all of your energy in places where your energy isn't quite as appreciated and it's not as reciprocated. So if you work in a job, I mean, this is a Pentacles card. This is a Devil Cats card. Okay. So when we talk about Pentacles in tarot, we talk about all of the physical and material realm that is affected by you, but also influences you and your energy. So if the reciprocity isn't there, and you're noticing that at work, you're just not getting what you need, that's not to say that you need to leave. That's just to say maybe you need to give less. Maybe if you are an extrovert and you're starting to feel real introverted when you get home and you're starting to like believe maybe I'm an ambivert, maybe I'm somebody who actually needs a little bit more me time, but that evolution has come from the draining of your energy in another place. Notice that when you plug into people, when you plug into social situations, whether or not you're getting recharged and you're getting that energy, that pow pow, or you're feeling like, oh wow, I'm giving a lot and I'm pouring all of my spice into a pot that I'm never going to get to eat. So I'm putting all my spice and all my flavoring in there and I'm giving my heat away, and I don't even get, there's no there's no give and take. I don't get to be fed by this. I don't get to be re-energized and recharged by this. That's unfair to me. This is in our stop card because this means it's time to look at how we're stopping ourselves from maybe pouring into situations that may be better for us and give us more because we feel chained to or trapped by situations where we're already giving so much of our energy and it hasn't done much for the goodness and that internal fire that gets stoked from doing good every day and seeing change happen every day and getting to really feel the value of our work sort of exposed to us. We want to be able to stoke a fire and then feel its warmth. We want to be able to stand by the fire afterward, and get to receive some of that warmth before we go, okay, that was for you. If we're not feeling it and we're just like, loading, it's time to recalibrate. It's time to rethink this, all right? So in our continue position is the fortune cookie card, which is the Wheel of Fortune in classic traditional tarot. And I think it says, the wheel in my butt goes round and round. Is that what it says? The wheel in my butt goes round and round. Yeah. Yeah. This is our continue position card. So this is giving us the sense that we have to pay attention to our cycles. We have to pay attention to fire signs. Y'all got to remember that when the wheel turns and when things change, that you're not getting crushed and that you're not inevitably going to be crushed under the wheel. But that you get to decide if you want to do like in the Dancing Through Life scene in Wicked, you get to go inside of the wheel and you get to dance and you get to, pull out some books. I don't know how they had a library in there. Magic, right? You get to decide if you get to be the one who's kind of like hanging and flipping or dancing and moving with the wheel or against it. You get to decide. You don't have to always go with the flow. And I feel like fire signs, when you do go with the flow, you might have other water or air signs like in your chart, but pay attention to where fire sits in your chart too, because if you go with the flow in certain aspects, then you are going to be the one whose energy ends up getting drained, who feels crushed at the end of the day and doesn't quite feel like you got to make enough of a difference or you got to embody that sense of power and that consciously cultivated confidence that you have in your power. So I want to remind you that this is in your continue card because you already know how to do this. You're already aware that just because the wheel turns, just because things change, doesn't mean that you're about to get crushed, doesn't mean that something's about to go wrong. If you have an idealistic attitude and an idealistic sort of personality or a positive personality, you already know this. Continue to do that. If you don't, if you're like, you got a little too much Scorpio in your chart and you're like more pessimistic than you would like to be sometimes, then tap into that fire in you, because that's where you're going to reestablish that foundation of it doesn't have to be that way. This card is an invitation. If you're not already there, then you can be there if you want to be. And now in our start card, in our start position, we have the Four of Swords. And it says, one sword down, nap time. And because it's in our start position, it really feels, I think I need to pull the other card. I think I need to pull the obstacle card because I think they go together. Okay. In our obstacle card, so in our star card, we have the Four of Swords. In our obstacle card, we have the Ace of Cups, which is the Ace of Crybabies. Which, if you didn't know, and you couldn't tell by crybabies, it's about emotions. Cups is the suit of emotional energy. Bop. And Ace is the place from which we can really see and feel so many possibilities. So if you're looking for a way to continue to expend your energy, but also figure out how to retrain your nervous system to adapt to the situations where you have to shut off your fire and you have to go, I have to say no to this. I have to stop feeding this bonfire because I know that I'm not going to feel its warmth, because it's already been proven to me that this is not going to be the best way to spend my energy. If the thing that's blocking you from doing that is the sort of like the that you feel in your nervous system about it, that sort of like heat in your body that comes from like, oh my gosh, I'm about to experience confrontation. Oh my gosh, I'm about to start taking part in conflict. I'm really actually feeling hot and sweaty now. If you start to feel that way, whenever it comes to settling your nervous system so that you can make the changes that you need to make and be the one who's in charge of the direction that the wheel turns, and you decide exactly how you spend your mental energy. The start card is giving us, be sure to make a few decisions and keep tally, keep score. If you are like an ADHD autistic person, or you're neurodivergent of some flavor, you might have heard about spoonies, and spending spoons on things, which is, if you don't know, a theory that we sort of recharge and we wake up with a certain number of spoons to spend. We wake up with, and spoons is just a unit of energy. So pretend it's just a unit of energy, okay? That every spoon is worth the same amount of energy. And leaving the house might cost you 4 spoons on a day where you already didn't have that many spoons to spend. Or you woke up with a migraine, or you woke up incredibly highly sensitive that day, and your auditory senses or your visual senses are just outside the range of normal. You might find that at the end of the day, you've spent all these spoons and you are spoon negative. You don't have any energy to spend left on feeding yourself or doing anything creative or productive that is for you, which is why we're getting this guy who's like, we're going to have a long, slow, boring night at home, okay? That long, slow, boring night at home is often because we're not finding ways throughout the day to navigate the possibility for different sort of like emotional attachments to what we're doing. I feel like as fire signs, we get very emotionally attached to the things that we feel passionately toward, and that creates that nervous system disruption whenever we feel like we have to say no to something, to doing something that we actually like to do, that we actually want to do. So we have to start learning how to do, and this is very hard for me to channel because it's hard for me to do myself as I encounter the message, is to take it a couple spoons at a time. Like, start checking in throughout the day, like spend a couple spoons, check in with yourself. Take like a mental nap where you like step back and you go, wow, I made myself breakfast today. That was a big win. But it didn't cost me as many spoons as it usually does. So that was nice. And I was able to save spoons for that shitty thing that Carla said to me. I'm sorry, Carla. Carla said to me just a few minutes ago. Okay. So I was kind of like peeved and set off by that. But I fed myself today, so things have kind of balanced out. That's nice. Okay. How many spoons do I feel like I have left to spend? And what do I want to do at the end of the day when I leave this fucking place that requires me to give my labors, to spend my labor so that I can get money to put a roof over my head and feed myself these really expensive and increasingly expensive groceries. What do I have to do? How many more spoons do I have to spend? And what do I have to do to preserve some of those spoons for the end of the day? What kinds of things am I going to allow myself to spend my mental energy trying to fix and solve? And which ones am I going to have to preserve for later? Am I going to have to like tuck away and say, I don't have that to give? I have it, but I don't have it to give. to you. Not sorry. Because fire signs, you can't make us feel sorry. You can't make us feel sorry about doing things that feel good for us. Am I right? Am I right? Can you please tell me if I'm wrong in the comments? I want to know how other fire signs and people with fire signs feel about this, because I feel like if I don't feel sorry about something, you can't make me feel sorry about it. I took care of myself, and that's my number one job. I'm the only person who's in charge of. Who else is going to be in charge of me if I'm not in charge of me? Fuck, shit. So you can't make me feel sorry about preserving my spoons. Start doing this, fire signs. Start doing this, y'all. Start checking in throughout the day. I'm bad at following timers, but I'm good at sort of coinciding certain things that are normal and regular for me to do throughout the day with this feeling of like, oh, I should be doing something right now. And if you're able to assign a check-in to, like, I always check in with myself at lunch. I always check in with myself when I have to make, after making this call. I have to make this certain call every day, or I have to do this certain task at the same time every day, or around the same time every day. If you take an afternoon shit, like one of my coworkers used to do, it would be like they'd be in there for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That's time to check in. And that's also a way to preserve spoons, my friend. Go and take a 45-minute shit every day. My shit's, because I'm vegan. Oh, hey, because I'm vegan, are like 45 seconds. They're just, phew, they just happen. But if you just sit for that extra 44 minutes and you preserve your spoons and you check in and you kind of give yourself a little time to imagine the creative ways that you want to spend your energy when you get done with work, when you get away from the thing that's draining your energy as opposed to reciprocating it, then what you might find is that you decide to text a friend and say, do you want to hang out when you're done with work today? Do you want to go out? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do something together? Do you want to sit and, body double as we both work on creative projects together? Do you want to come over and paint later? This is what one of my friends do. One of my friends and I do. She's a Sag rising? Gemini rising, Sag moon? One of those. Ooh, I'm sorry, sir, if I forgot which one it is. But it's like, if you take that opportunity and you kind of have that trigger, there we go. This is the word that I was trying to think of earlier. If you kind of like set a trigger for yourself at certain points throughout the day, in lieu of setting an alarm, which you may or may not follow. I don't follow alarms. Then you're going to be able to take note of, am I in charge of the wheel that's spinning? Do I feel good about it? Do I feel good about the direction that I'm headed in for this day, on this day only? And am I going to have energy when I get home? Am I creating a fluid workspace for me to really work with all of the emotions and the nervous system, um, rises, ebbs and flows that have happened, and will continue to happen throughout the day. So, fire signs, get up off your ass and start revitalizing your energy. It is being wasted at a time when we need it. When our revolutionary spirits are getting so stoked and so inflamed that we need your art, we need your communion, we need the satisfactory nature of your invitation to go out and to play and to do things together. We need the demanding quality of your presence to be relentless and remind us what revolution is supposed to look like. Revolution and unconditional self-love is supposed to look like. I feel like that's what fire signs are meant to embody. We need you, and you need you. You know you need you. You know your creative projects that are kind of like floating in the ethers need you. So be there for them. Take hold of that. Take charge. I love you. You fucking got this. You got this. I would love for you to like this video so I can keep creating these ripples out into the world so other people can get these beautiful messages. If there was some part of this that scratched an itch for you, tell me what it was in the comments. And if there was a part of what I said that reminded you of anybody, go and send this to a friend. Be sure to share this with somebody else and let them know that you were thinking of them and that you believe that they deserve this loving message as well. Because you are deserving of all the love you desire. I love you. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye, my loves.